Hi, Chris here from Blue Coat Foundation. Today I had a conversation with Chief Ruben Moyeno of the Municipal Police of Carolina, Puerto Rico. We talked about humble beginnings, serendipitous moments, police culture, trauma and emotions, leadership and fallen officers. Chief Moyeno is a wealth of knowledge, and listening to his approach to police work is quite inspirational. I hope you take a lot out of this and enjoy the episode.
Sir, I have so many questions I want to ask you. First of all, I want to say that I am fluent in Spanish, but when I speak to a Spanish speaker, my Spanish goes to heck, and it's really bad. So if I try to communicate with some Spanglish, I think I'm fluent in Spanglish, so that's okay too. So, in my personal life, I am very city-centric. I'm an Los Angeles kid, and the world revolves around me. When I got into law enforcement and moreover fallen officers, and I learned about stories in Puerto Rico, I had to remind myself that the United States and Puerto Rico were one and connected. That was different for me, and I'm starting to learn that and I'm starting to see it. My question is, what is the cultural identity in Puerto Rico when it comes to their relations with the United States, especially with law enforcement?
Say it again. Well, here in Puerto Rico, the law enforcement is real different because almost all the heavy work the state police does it. Because the city police here in Puerto Rico don't have detective, so we all have is uniformed services.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's the way we work.
So who handles the investigative portion?
The state police does.
Got it.
The state police has all the detective services, and we have patrol services, and all the police uniform police services do. That's what we do here in Puerto Rico. My department is a medium-sized department, so we have a little bit of everything. We have bicycle patrolling, we got motorcycles, we got the chances unit, we got the maritime unit, so I have a little bit of everything.
Got it. Yeah, I saw that when I was going through your Facebook. I was kind of Facebook stalking you a little bit as I was doing my research, and I saw a whole bunch of photos on there. You were there with high-level government officials at mental health symposiums. I think you were leading some courses with some SOPs when it comes to protection. You were corralling alligators, taming eagles, and then your officers are showing their canines to children. It was, I see someone who's in touch, with the street cops, which for me is number one, and still touching law enforcement in your community at all levels. And that's refreshing to see. So my question with this is, what drives your leadership, or what is your leadership style?
Well, I have already 37 years in the service as a police officer. I have 8 of them as commissioner, and I'm always in the street with my police officers. So I'm not almost all day at the office. If I have my radio on, something's going on, there's a pursuit or whatever's going on, I'll get out the office and let's go to the street with the people with us. That's my style.
So you're in the trenches with your street cops, pretty much.
Yeah, I was in the street with them.
Wow.
Even if I'm off, like today, if something goes wrong, I put on my jeans, my shirt, and let's go to the street. And then my police off.
So if something pops off right now, you're gonna hang up on this interview and you're gonna go.
That's what's gonna happen.
I won't take it personal. I will not take it personal.
I got my radio here beside me.
I like it. I saw also that you're from Chicago and Philadelphia. and obviously you're now in Puerto Rico. So tell me about, your journey, what brought you to where you are now, and how you developed that leadership style, right? Lead by example, and tell us about yourself in that sense.
Well, I was born in Chicago. I was in the age of 10 years. My both parents are Puerto Rican. It brought me here to the island. And since that moment, in September 22, 1974, I'm here in Puerto Rico. So I'm a police officer not because I was interested to be a police officer. So when I was studying after high school, a partner of my classroom said, "Hey, can you be with me? I'm going to the police station, and I'm going to apply." I said, "Okay, I'll go with you. I'll be with you there." So when we were there, this is just my story. So when we were there, he got the application, and I was sitting waiting for him, and he said, "Hey, take an application, prove if you're lucky or not." And so that's what I did. So I took the application and I filled it up. And the end of the story is that I am in the police department, and he couldn't make it. So here I am. Since that
Great.
time.
So somebody else had it to you, and they didn't make it, and you did.
Yeah, that's my story.
So you moved to Puerto Rico at age 10?
10.
Okay. Do you have a fond memories of living in Chicago or Philadelphia?
Yeah. I got my name very clear. My father was an instructor for the CTA, that's the Chicago Transit Authority for the buses. So I remember that we went back in 79, and he gave us the tickets so we can ride on the bus wherever we want to go. So my memories are good. We got the Lincoln Park, that's the zoo, and the Sears Tower is the highest building, and the Jim Hancock Center, and a couple of places that I still remember. I want to go back. That'll be very changed.
Do you go back frequently? Are you connected to?
No, I haven't been in Chicago since '79. So maybe if I go back, I'm gonna get lost around. So
Yeah.
that's not like we got GPS. I'm not gonna get lost. But
Right.
in Philadelphia, I just lived right there about 3 months in the Navy.
Okay.
I was a police officer by that time, and so we came back to the island. So I'm still here.
Okay. So when did you get on the police department? How old were you? 31?
No, 21.
21. Oh, you came on really early. And
Yeah.
in Puerto Rico, do you have to be 21 to be a police officer?
Yeah, there's a law right now that says that you have to have 21 years, but now they changed the law, and it says that you can become a police officer at 18.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
So
when you came on, did you have to do patrol first, or what type of police work did you do within the department?
well, I was in patrolling first, and a couple of years after that, then sent me to the tactical unit. So that tactical unit, I was there about for 3 years, and went back to patrolling, and I was back and forth. And I used to, by the 1995, I was working with the state police in the narcotic, as a narcotic officer. And in 1999, I became a TFO for the FBI. So I was a task force officer at the FBI. And by that time, I was already sergeant by that time. So I got the highest rank and uniform that's inspected at our department. And I became the commissioner in 2015.
I think there was a lot of similarities that he was asking what was so different o cuál eran las diferencias, pero yo vi muchas maneras que somos iguales también. Like, for example, there's a lot of similarities that that you actually spoke about when he was asking you about the differences. And one of them is for out here in California, at least in the Central Valley, if you're a smaller agency and you don't have the resources to take on like a major case, the bigger agency, which is usually the county or like the sheriff's department, will come in and assist with whatever resources you need. So I see the similarities in that. With here, the state, what I consider this, like the state police, is the California Highway Patrol, and they're in charge of mostly traffic, the freeways and the highways.
I'm back.
Did you pay for your connection?
Yes, I don't know what happened there.
So what I was kind of going back with Chief was that you asked him about maybe some differences, but thinking back to at least what I've been exposed to in the Central Valley is that there was actually still a lot of similarities. What I was explaining to him is here, the smaller agencies that are like in the smaller towns, if for some reason they don't have the resources that they need, the county will step in and help them out with whatever resources they need. And as far as like state police, what I would look at as a similarity to that is the state police for us would be like CHP, but they're in charge of mostly the freeways and the highways, and then also, at least here in Fresno County, they're in charge of policing and taking reports too for traffic in certain county areas, county pockets that we have here, at least in Fresno. So there's still a lot of similarities to the way that they do things. The only thing that I see that stood out to me the most was the chief's involvement with the day-to-day work of all of his officers. I'm still quite impressed by that because you just don't see that very often. Usually even leading up to a sergeant, at least here, my experience is the sergeants, have to go inside and all they're doing is reviewing reports, and they're the go-to, obviously, for whatever shift that is to advice or to get the go-ahead on things. We do see some sergeants that do go out and hit the streets. There's some sergeants that hate being behind the desk. But again, it's not at the level of with the chief of going out to calls and being out there with the officers. I don't see that ever.
Yeah, that's definitely different. It sounds. I mean, I'm thinking if my chief would be out there. So I had one captain. I had one captain who there was a shooting, and he shows up and he's door knocking, trying to get witnesses, and I see him doing it. And I run up over there and I run to him and I'm like, I got it, sir, I got it. And he's like, why? I'm already doing it. There's more apartments over there. And I'm like, okay. So that was interesting. That was pretty cool to.
Wow, that is cool. Yeah.
It's obviously a different, from my agency and yours, Claudia's. There's different dynamics. But being out there with the troops, I think it is a choice. You don't have to do that, and that shows a lot. But I lost connection at some point. I wanted to go back a little bit on your experience. So, what's it like being a patrol cop in Puerto Rico? So, I might just be very narrow-minded, but is it the same as us? People call 911, you get a call on your computer, and you go to the houses. Is that pretty much what it is all day? And
yeah, that's the difference is that our cars don't have no computers. Okay. So all the calls we receive it by the radio, and it's almost the same as in the States. We got 911 here in Puerto Rico, and the people call through the phone, right? And we got a command center.
Okay.
give us a call by the radio. But it has to be the same thing. So we don't have no car, we're patrolling all the time. And our police cars have GPS, so I can see everybody where they are on my computer, my phone, and even this command center can see it too. And if there's something's going on, they got the cameras. They have a ear wall, where they can see. We have about 225 cameras around the city.
Wow.
You can see everything right there. And if they see something on the camera, they give us a call by the radio. If something's going on right here, we're scanning the camera, and the nearest car is for saying the name, right? A number. The 123 is the nearest car to the situation. Go there.
Oh, so you send the closest car that happens to be in the area to that call.
Correct.
Wow. Of course, because that makes sense. That makes sense. Now, when you said you went to a tactical unit, what's that?
Well, we have a tactical unit like a SRT, Special Response Team. So they are all the time on the street. They're not like SWAT standing by and waiting for a situation to come up to go to the street. No, they're always on the street to respond to any call that we have, high-risk calls and all that. So even they support the patrolling services too. So that's the way we work up here.
Got it. So they don't go to radio calls, but they're a quick response support for tactical purposes.
Correct. Even if there something's suspicious guys around, so they arrive with the patrol right there with the sector.
Because you're watching them on camera and you send them over there.
Right over there.
Yeah, I like that. That's interesting. And then, so you said you did narcotic detail?
Yeah, I used to work for a year and a half. When I got promoted, they sent me to the narcotic division of the state police. So I have 7 police officers under my charge, my supervision, and we made a good work around here. Even I remember that they gave me a special mission, and they told me, this day you have to be here at 600 hours because you're going to the helicopter. So you're going to go in 10 minutes and photograph a couple of places that we want. So that was a good experience. In the helicopter National Guard, not the police helicopter.
You'd probably have to go really high up.
Mm-hmm. Yep, really high. Really high.
So were you guys undercover?
Undercover in our department.
Oh, no undercover on your department.
That's the state mission.
Got it. Okay. Interesting. Okay.
There's a lot of difference, right? As I told you before.
I'm starting to see that.
We don't have no detective. Even where there's a traffic accident where somebody dies, the state police has to take charge of it. So we work with that. We're there to help, support the state police. That's their job. The homicides, the burglaries, we work with that, not us. We got the initial report. That's it. But they take charge of the investigation.
So trying to equate it with us, I mean, you're pretty much the patrol department for the whole shebang.
Correct. That's what we do, patrolling. Okay.
And if you keep going out there, that means you must love that work too, obviously, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I have a lot of friends telling me, "What are you doing still on patrol? You gotta leave patrol, for your mental health, for your physical health." And I am feeling like an old dog these days. Everything hurts. Putting on that same ground, but yeah, it's kind of hard to leave that world. It's very involved mentally and emotionally. I keep going back to, before we started recording, we were talking about officer-involved shootings, about your involvement in officer-involved shooting and mine. And I was thinking about that and how that pertains to your leadership style and who you are and where you come from. So I'm somebody who thinks that leaders are made. I think anybody can be a leader. I don't think it's a skill. I think more it's a passion in anything you're in. So, where I work, this past year, the past year and a half, there's been a spike in officer-involved shootings with my specific coworkers and friends. And it's been interesting to see who rises to the occasion of these leadership roles, right? So, I still can't talk about mine, but during mine, everybody around me stepped up, right? So we had one person who just grabbed communications. Nobody told him to do it. Another officer began medical treatment. Nobody waited for that. Other officers just started setting up the crime scene, preserving evidence. And then on a softer note, a more important note, another officer came up to me and kept checking on me. Are you okay? Are you okay? Like, yeah, I'm fine. But they just stayed right there. Right? So in my mind, every single person took a role without even being directed, and I was in great hands because of my peers, and that made me proud, right? And I know you've been in an officer-involved shooting also, and you being a higher ranking in your department, how's your experience in your personal OIS made you a better person, a better human, so you could be there for your officers when they get involved, in an officer-involved shooting?
Yeah, in my personal case, I have been involved in 4 shootings. 4 shootings already.
Wow.
Yeah, I remember the first one. I have about a year or maybe 2 years of the service. My first shooting is a robbery. We were patrolling and we see these guys running out the store with bags in their hands and running. And we saw a person on the sidewalk saying, these guys committed a robbery right now here. And so we start chasing them. They got in the car. And I remember that I told my partner, slow down at the curve, because maybe they can be waiting us. So when we took the curve, the car was already far enough from us, so we got up, and we catch them very near to them, so they came out of the car and they started shooting at us. So that was my first shooting. So.
How many years on did you have at that time?
That happened, I have 37, about 35 years ago, so I remember as yesterday.
Wow.
So that was my first shooting. In my third shooting, people were so mad with us that they were paying about $2,500 so they could kill me. So I have security in my house and everywhere I go. So I have an escort. I was already retired by that time. And the last one was in 2018, where there was I was standing with a person that I was knowing that we were at a gas station, and this car came in, and I saw the guys with the ski mask, and the car came in real fast, and I still they didn't see me. They saw a friend of mine coming running for where these guys were when they started the robbery, and he came running to me. Hey, Chief, they're making a robbery right there. And I said, I saw them, I need you to shut up and take cover, because I think this is not going to go well. So take cover right there and wait. But he said it too loud, they saw us. So right there, I saw these guys with these key masks and large magazines and the pistol. And I remember that the guy told me, hey, you guys right there, he said a lot of bad words. And don't move from there. If you guys call somebody or move from there, this is what we have for you, and he played me. That's why at that time, he didn't see that I have my pistol in my hand already. So that's where the shootout comes out. That
Yeah.
was November 3, 2018.
Wow, that's pretty recent.
Yeah.
So that's later in your career. That's so it could.
I was already the chief of the police already by that time.
Yeah,
So
on my
it came out all in the news, and everybody wanted to speak to me, and they wanted to interview me, and I said, no, I'm not going to get my face in the news because these guys, I don't know who they are, where they're from, and maybe they didn't see my face well. And if I go in the news, they're going to see who I am.
yeah.
So I was hiding myself from the news.
Wow.
And they're in jail right now. The FBI took charge of the case, and they're under arrest right now. So they're still in jail already.
So do you think, since you've been involved in multiple shootings, you see yourself in a better place to help your officers who get involved in a shooting? Like, how has that helped you help them? Right. That I guess that's kind of what I'm getting.
That's a good question. That's a good question because when one of my police officers involved in the shooting, I try to get there the fastest I can. And what I said to them, you're not going to speak to nobody. You're going to speak to me. You don't have to say to nobody what's going on. You're going to talk with the investigator. That's it. You're not going to talk with nobody else. So what I do is I take them apart. Okay, you're going to stay by my side. Don't move from my side. And I'm going to protect you. And I'm going to tell you, go ahead and speak with him. But the other persons and our co-workers that are not going to investigate, you have to say that. Mm-hmm. So that's the way it helped me help my co-partners in that way. I know it's not easy. It's a difficult moment, and right. So
yeah,
I think this could help.
Interesting. So we have really good reception right now. So
yep.
I want to go back and ask a couple of these questions that just got really broken up, if that's okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I opened up. I wanted to ask about the cultural identity of Puerto Ricans as it pertains to America, the United States of America, right? Like, how do they see themselves in relation to the United States, especially law enforcement? Like I was trying to say earlier, was that I was very, very narrow-minded, and I started to see a lot of how prideful Puerto Ricans were, especially in the law enforcement world, to be part of the United States, right? That was new for me. So I guess my question is, how do you guys see yourselves in relation to the United States?
Well, the city police in Puerto Rico started in 1977. That's why that's the dates that the city police belongs in Puerto Rico. We have 78 cities in Puerto Rico. In this small island, 78 cities, and from the 78 cities, only we have 76 departments, police departments, in each city. There's no county, no sheriff here in Puerto Rico. So it's state police and city police. Almost all these cities, right, are real small departments. They have 10, maybe 7 police officers, 5 police officers. So the state police have to take charge, as Claudia said later on. So, we are really very important. We are being important for the state police now because crime is high, so they need us. Before that, they treat us like security police officers or security guards. So now, yeah, since 1996 came a law that's number 45, where they gave us all the power of the state police in all criminal activities. Since 1996, all these city police have given a big power. So now we can do a lot of this because before that, you arrest somebody with a felony, or a misdemeanor, so state police have to go with you to the judge. Not now. We can no. We don't need the state police for that now. So all this has been changing, and there was a moment where your service weapon, when you finish your shift, you have to return it back. But that already changed. So right now we are in a good moment. Right now we have a good support from the state police, a good support from the state level. So we are in a good moment right now. And after that, so like my department, we have 12 police officers killed in the line of duty, and my department has already 45 years of service in service. So we already have 12. Other departments have 9 and less than that, but we are the highest one right now in police officers killed in the line of duty. So in 2000, when I was in the FBI, we didn't have knowledge about Washington, D.C., about the National Law Enforcement Memorial. We didn't know nothing about that, so I learned it when I went in the FBI as a task force agent officer in 2000. So it was a little bit tough because when I was learning about the National Law Enforcement Memorial in November, we lost a police officer in a motorcycle accident. So his name was Orlando Casado Molina, and he was our first police officer on the wall.
In 2000?
Yeah, 2000. So that's 2001, 2001. That's our first police officer on the wall.
Okay.
So I feel good for that because I was who make all the paperwork because he was the chief of police of our department at the time. He didn't know nothing about that. So I showed my co-workers in our department that it exists. So we went to that year we went to the National Law Enforcement, National Police Week. We went there. In 2009 we were there. So that's how we learned how to. When my experience when we were there, I talked with a lot of police officers, and they have a different way to take them to Puerto Rico because they think if they come to Puerto Rico, they're going to see Indians without clothes walking around. That's what they told me. And I said, no, we are a city like you guys.
Guilty. I'm just kidding. It's not that extreme. But like I said, that's exactly how. Not that extreme, but my way of thinking is, you hear my questions earlier, like, how do you guys patrol? Like all those little things that we don't know. It just seems like a different world. But hearing you, we're all the same, right? And it's very interesting to hear the evolution of the police officer in Puerto Rico, how it was regarded more of a security guard. You check in your guns in '96. You were given official police power, right? Like going to court. And then finally in 2000, you had your first officer put on the wall in the U.S. in D.C. And I could see how that could start maturing into this pride of, you're part of the United States. And that's a really important story to tell. And hearing your experience at Police Week is also very interesting, right? So when I rode the Police Unity Tour in 2016. And I rode in response to 3 fallen officers from my own department. But even at that time, I still wasn't fully aware of the own culture within my culture of fallen police officers, right? Until these 3 officers passed away, and I went to DC, and I was surrounded by so much love and support and smiles and hugs from people who just lost somebody so close to them within a few months, right? There's this bar that everybody goes to, and everybody there lost a best friend within a few months. and they were all like, we're not crying tonight, and taking pictures and drinking. Or when I rode into DC, I always tell the story. There was a little kid who handed me a flag, and he said, "Thank you for riding for my daddy." I didn't know how to react. I rode off. I took it. I said, "Thank you," and I rode off. But it was so intense that it sparked this passion, right? So that was very interesting for me, and to hear your experience about how everybody thought you guys were walking around naked and stuff, and with spears. That's crazy. But I do want to hear more about your experience. Is that the first time you went to Police Week?
Well, in 2000, that was my first time that we went to 2001. Excuse me, 2001. That was my first time I went there to National Police Week. So,
but this last
we
one,
made it. Yeah, we made it. Yeah, we made it. 2022. We made it. 2021. We were there.
Right. And you went there to honor three officers from Puerto Rico, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell us about who you were honoring?
Yeah. Sergeant Luis Salaman Conde and Eliezer Hernandez Cartagena, and the state police was Luis Marreros. There was a 3 police officer who were killed in January 11, 2021. So we went there in May 2022 for National Police Week, and it was real touchy. Seeing how everybody remember what happened in Puerto Rico. Everybody, when they see the Puerto Rican flags and all that, they say, "Hey, we heard about you guys in Puerto Rico. We're sorry." And the police officer who survived the shooting, he was us. Even Claudia was with us too, and it was real touchy, difficult. And when we heard their names that night, right there, when they make the roll call,
The candlelight vigil the night.
yeah, you couldn't stop the tears coming out of your eyes and see the families and all that. So it's a nice activity, but it's real tough for
Intense.
somebody who, so for somebody who knows the officer was killed in the line of duty, it's real touchy.
At the time of that incident, what rank were you? What was your rank?
I was a commissioner.
Okay. So were they all under your command?
Yeah.
They were.
Mm-hmm.
It's we always talk about the bravery of officers going into these situations, but I don't think anyone ever talks about the police chiefs, the higher ranking people who have to tell the families, make the notifications, right? So as a higher ranking officer yourself, how do you find the strength to cope with the emotional aftermath of such an incident?
Well, I think my strength came from that because even at the scene, everybody was on me, talking to me. Hey, I'm sorry. Everybody, I understand that everybody was sorry. So at that moment, there was a manhunting because we were all the police officer. Even we got support from all the federal agencies, the FBI, the DEA, ATF, all these federal agencies were there, and it was a big experience for me seeing all these agencies together, and everybody. Well, I know a lot of co-workers in the law enforcement, so they know I'm the chief. So one of the biggest experience at that moment was when the mayor arrived to the scene, and the mayor told me, "How are you?" I'm good to go. Okay, so where is the guy who made this? And I told him, well, you're saying that it's right here in this public housing, but it's out of my jurisdiction because it was on the borderline of our city to the next city. That is San Juan. So the mayor looked at me and he said, "Where are you guys? Where is your tactical team?" I told him, "We're the first section." And I remember the way he told me, "Go after the guy. Go after that guy. It don't matter the jurisdiction. I will take charge of the jurisdiction." So that was a green light. That was a green light. So I got all my tactical guys, and you guys are ready. You got your rifles. We got munitions. We got everything. We got the brushing tools. Okay, let's go. So we went to the public housing, and I got real big impressed when I arrived to the public housing, and I get off my patrol car, and I saw there was a lot of state police, federal agencies. Some of them were inside the car, others were sitting down waiting for instructions, and everybody was asking what we were going to do. So when they went to me, everybody stand up in the signal of respect, and they told me, "We're waiting for instructions. Whatever you told us, we're going to do it." And I told them, "I'm not the chief of the state police, but I'm going to let you know that I'm letting you know right now that I'm going in there. No matter what, I'm going in there." And you know what they said? "If you go in there, we're going to go with you, chief. So it doesn't matter. If the state chief is not here, we're going with you." And everybody was walking with me inside. That's the biggest public housing in Puerto Rico. The name is Mr. Torres, and it was real impressed seeing all those law enforcement agencies right there. We start breaking doors. We got a lot of firearms, a lot of dope.
Wow.
And we told them we are not leaving until you guys turn in the guy who kills our police officer right there. So these guys came in and started saying, "Hey, give us a break. We're going to turn into you. We're going to turn into you. We're not leaving. We're going to stay here." So that was early, right? And it was about 6 or 7 o'clock in the night already. And I didn't went to my house till about 5 o'clock in the morning. We received a call at 3 o'clock, 3:30 o'clock in the morning. We received a call that we have information that the guy who killed the police officer, the street takes justice, and they killed him. And they told him beside the garbage cans, there are signs that says, I am the guy who killed the police officers.
Wow, interesting.
When we started investigating all that, it was the guy. The FBI helped us in the investigation, so the FBI confirmed that it was the guy who killed the police officers.
So it sounds like all the support you got from the FBI, from your mayor, that's kind of where you draw the strength from to kind of, when it gets emotional, it helps you think of all the support that was there.
Mm-hmm.
So it's pretty powerful. So like these podcasts, I've been doing them, and they're always about heavy topics, obviously, but I always try to bring some substance, something that could help other people with similar stories. So what kind of advice would you give other police chiefs who may in the future have to go through something like this, have to notify families who haven't done it yet throughout the U.S.?
Well, my first advice is that every day that you go to work, you have to turn your day to God, because I do that every morning when I'm going to my office. The second advice that I could give them is that we have to be prepared to help our police officers in this kind of events. And three, support your police officers. They're doing the work. They are the police who are, they are the workers who are on the street giving their life for something that they don't know. So we have to support them at all times. So with these three advice, I think they can have a good response for the police officers like I received, because when I call them, they're right there by my side. So I'll do the same thing with them. I think that can be a good advice for the chief, all the chiefs of police and departments. Not everything, not the whole job is paperwork. You have to be there with the person. You have to be by their side with your police officers. It is intense, but they need you because they need to feel that support from their chief.
Right. Right. I mean, that goes hand in hand with your heavy responsibility of keeping your officers motivated while they're grieving and still doing a good job out there as police officers. Did you feel like you had to do a lot of that support afterwards, months and years later, making sure they stay motivated and safe while they grieve?
Well, there's a lot of things I would like to do for my police officers. But there are things that they are not in my hands because we got superiors, right? But all that I have in my hands, I'm going to do to support my police officers and make them to feel well and always be motivated and to do their job. I know they're doing their job very good. We can see it. I can see it. I try to keep post everything they do because that's kind of motivation. Because right now the social media has helped me. Everywhere we go, they're talking real nice about my department, and I feel good with that. And I hear the people, oh, your department are always active and you're doing a good job, and thank you for your service. So
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's something that you guys are doing that's part of that, part of kind of keeping everybody motivated and supported is this honor run that you guys put on every year that you put on. Tell us about that.
Well, I made a promise to myself. The promise is as my time in service, we're going to keep this honor run alive. And I talked to the mayor, and I told him that we needed to be part of our department every year at this date. So he said, I agree. So we didn't want this to die. So we already started. We're going to keep on going doing it. So this year, now in 2024, I think it's going to be a good, great race run in honor of our police department. There's a lot of people calling us, so we are in the organization right now with everything. So for their memory, we're going to do it.
Nice, nice. I like it. So you guys run, what is it? Remind me, it's 6.3 miles?
Yeah, 6.3 miles.
6.3 miles. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So how we do it? Wow, we do it in a pretty good way. Claudia was with us. What
Right.
happened there? So we start. The starting line, all right, will be where our first police officer is killed at the line of duty. So that's where Luis X Salamanca was killed in the line of duty. So we start from there. So our run is where the pursuit went, the car pursuit. So when we finished where the other two police officers were killed, that was Luis Moreno and Fernando Cartagena, and where there was one police officer was injured. So that's where the honor run finished. When we finished, the mayor made officers were killed in the line of duty. So our ceremony, the closing ceremony is going to be there. That's where we finish. And it's real nice when we start running because everybody passed by, blowing the horns, giving the salute, and they showed respect for our police officers who were killed in the line of duty. And it's very nice, everybody, and how they say thank you for your service and all that. So it's a very good experience right there.
Yeah, well, we're looking forward to running that route with you. Thank you for letting us join you.
Are you running too?
Who are you talking to?
You.
Me?
You, boss. Yes. My boss.
I am planning to run. However,
Okay.
I have to. I have
I
to.
heard we, so I just was.
I have to decide when
Wow.
that. Right at that week will be my last decision. Just I'm getting old, sir. My knees and my back. So if I don't want to run and be off for months. But okay, I'll give you this.
I have to interject really quick.
Wait,
Okay.
wait.
Go ahead.
I am going to train as if I'm going to run it because I have all.
Good.
I have my intentions are to run it, but I don't want to say 100% and then go there with a bad back. But I will have a team there.
Don't
I'll have
put
a team there to
barriers
run.
there. Just say you're going to do it.
Well, Chris, we do it easy because we do it's a 6.3, but we do by station.
Yeah.
1 mile.
The relay.
Yeah, relay. So 1 mile relay, 1 mile relay. So, and this year we're going to do something that the other 2 years we haven't done it. We're going to have in the last relay, we're going to have people who cannot run and they are going to walk. So that's why I think there's going to be a lot of people.
Okay, if I have to be in a wheelchair or a patineta or I'll do it. So
I'm older than you, Chris. It's not,
but yeah, so we're looking forward to it. Thank you for letting us join you guys in this honor run, and thank you for giving us the story and your background and your police department's background. I think it's really important for people to hear it. I'm glad we finally got good reception here.
yeah, me too.
So I was really worried about it, but thank you for everything you shared. I think that people are going to get a lot out of it, and also get a lot more support from other agencies across the country. So I really appreciate it, and thank you for your time.
Well, thank you guys for this podcast, and we are excited because you guys are coming to Puerto Rico. So we have plans with you guys. We're going to do a couple of things for you guys, and but we are very happy. And I have to say this. For us, it's an honor you guys come to Puerto Rico and be part of our honor run for our heroes and for our police officers who were killed in the line of duty. So it's going to be something that I'm not going to forget, and I'm going to be glad on the rest of my life for what you guys are doing for us. So.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your time, and we'll see you soon.
Sure.
Sir.